Hello, BookTube. This is the second time I've done this video. You ever have one of those days? He asked rhetorically. I know you've had those days. First time around, I forgot, or I left out in the truck part of the books. This is a book haul. It's hot here. It's 90 Fahrenheit or whatever. I got a little fan going out in my little grotto here, my little mini man cave. So I got all set up. Because it's so hot, I had a big tall can of Citizen cider, hard cider, apple cider, and I like it. It's a Vermont product. I'm always happy to support the local companies. Sat it down. Well, it's very tall, and I sat it down on my little end table. It flipped, splattered some books. I got a towel out here, dried everything down. It should be fine. But of course, you get frustrated. So after I cleaned up, I made the video after I was done swearing and realized I was missing an entire section of the books. I'm going, something's wrong. I just got them. I went up to West Leb, New Hampshire, to the Listen thrift shop. I don't go up as much as I used to. It's a drive. Everything's a drive around here because not a lot around here. But today I needed to go up. I needed a break. My wife and I went up after doing some other things, and I did pretty well. So I'm going to try this again and just hope I can get through it without, something else falling over or making a mess or whatever. So I'm going to start with a little bit of science fiction. Paperback, mass market paperback. This is Robert A. Heinlein, I Will Fear No Evil, about an ultra-rich guy, ultra-old guy, who has the money to be immortal and has himself put into the body of a young, beautiful woman. And there she is, all star-spangled. So right over this shoulder, you'll see a line of Heinlein, and this will go along with him. There was a time when I had everything by Heinlein, but I still have quite a lot. Some of those books in the beginning over my shoulder there have multiple novels in them. I'll continue on with the science fiction theme. I got, and the rest of it's not. Broken Stars, contemporary Chinese science fiction in translation, edited by Ken Liu, the guy who translated The Three-Body Problem, the Hugo Award-winning Three-Body Problem. It was also was on a streaming service as a series. I read the first of that. I think it's a trilogy. I read the first one, really liked it, never got around to the rest of them. I have no idea why. I had purchased this volume because it is an important anthology for my library where I work, and I was glad to find a copy for myself. There's going to be authors. They go from shorts to novellas. There are going to be authors in here who I know and who I do not know, because I haven't read the one at the library. I do think I read a couple things, but for the most part, I never finished the anthology, so now I will. 2019 is the publishing date, and Tom Doherty's, or Tor. So I'm glad to have it. See where I can put these things. Yeah, put them on my lap. Then moving along to Nautical Fiction, right behind my head here is the first Nautical Fiction shelf. Then there's another one. Also has some Bernard Cornwell and all that, but it has Julian Stockwin somewhere up in that direction. I don't know if you can see him probably up a shelf or so. And this is a Kids Sea Adventure. It's number 9. He's been disgraced. He's got him and his buddy Renzi. Renzi has some espionage work to do. Kid's trying to regain his honor, but he has to operate a privateer prior to that or during that. And I have not read this one, number 9. I have the first 5, I believe. But I like him. I really do. You know, it's not Hornblower. It's certainly not Patrick O'Brien, but it's good, solid entertainment by a guy who really spent his life at sea in the Royal Navy, and might have been Royal Navy, and then I don't know if he did time in Merchant Marine or not, but he knows his nautical stuff, so it's fun. Then I got a Capote reader, 700 and some odd page long anthology of all kinds of his work. This is Random House. Well, there's Capote right there. Many of you know who he is. This has Breakfast at Tiffany's. It doesn't have In Cold Blood, and some of the more, some of those works, but it has a lot of stuff you never find anywhere else. It has short stories, novellas, travel sketches, reportage, portraits, and essays. And this thing was compiled in 1987 by Alan Schwartz. So glad to have it. Something to dip in and out of. I'll never really... I may finish it, but I'll never go cover to cover. So this is the pretty good haul so far. But then I found... I used to have this in a Folio Society box set. It was beautiful. Beautifully illustrated. Well, I think it was like a blue buckram hardback. I can't remember for sure. I'm pretty sure. And this is an author I really love. And I'm really happy to have this again. So, let's see if we get them in. Yeah, we got them in order. Yep. Okay, so this is a box set here, Penguin, of James Morris's Pax Britannica trilogy. I haven't read this in ages, and it's really one of the great works of history in my limited experience. Here, let me see if I can take them out here without making a mess. So, Heaven's Command and Imperial Progress. Yeah, there's maps and stuff like that in here, but there won't be the beautiful illustrations I had in that Folio Society set. I won't tell you what happened to that. Lost it during a move, I just told you. So, yeah. And then we have, to make sure I'm doing it right, Pax Britannica, The Climax of an Empire. Did they say who does this cover art? Because I actually sort of like it. This one's dedicated to Tom Morris, Time Imperialist. Whatever that means, is sort of cool. So the cover on this one shows a detail of Queen Victoria outside St. Paul's Cathedral, Jubilee 1897 by Sheraton. So what was the first one? This one is, well, let me show you that one. And then the first one was The Great Exhibition Opening by Queen Victoria by H.C. Sellius. And then the third volume in this box set is, I like this cover a lot. Farewell the Trumpets and Imperial Retreat. I really like that cover. Look at that. And that is a detail from the Royal Horse Artillery Under Fire by George Scott, part of the National Army Museum. That's a pretty cool cover. I like them all, but that one I really like. I like, again, it has maps and stuff. So, really, really happy to finally have a copy of this again in my own home library. This is due for a reread. I just really, always really, really liked it. And I know quite a few of you have read it, and I've heard that over the years on BookTube. The box is fairly decent, so I paid $3.75 for that. $1 for everything else. It's pretty typical for the for a listen. I mean, I wandered around. It's busier than that, and I got a big old truck, so I have to struggle to find parking in those places. But Deb and I walked around, and it was packed. It was packed. But you work your way through the shelves as best you can. They're really fair on the prices. They do a good job, getting them into their subject or genre areas. Not a bad haul for what I was probably in there 20 minutes, half hour at the most. So if you're up in West Lebanon, New Hampshire, it's called the Listen Thrift Stores. Big old place. Go on in. They have LPs. I looked at some, but didn't find anything I wanted. Tons of clothes, furniture, antiques, glassware, jewelry, all the stuff you'd see in a thrift store, charity shop, whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, good day. Hotter than the Dickens. Been watching a lot of baseball. And I hope you're all doing well and enjoying your summers. So, thank you, BookTube.